Hello and welcome to another quick video. This time we're going to be installing Rider on Windows for C# development. So we're just going to search for Rider and go straight to the downloads page. I'm going to download it. Now I do want to point out that while I really like Rider for C# development, okay, now that it's finished downloading, we'll start the actual installation by launching the installer. I do just want to point out that Rider is not free. It is a commercial license. There is a community edition. However, there isn't a community edition. There is an education edition for students, but not community. The commercial licenses are a lot cheaper than Visual Studio. I say students free, but otherwise it's a paid for license. However, it is cross-platform, so you get exactly the same coding experiences in Windows as you do in Linux, as you do in Mac. And it really is a very good IDE. Now, just to talk through a few of those, the desktop shortcuts fairly obvious. Open folders as a project is useful. That is really quite essential if you want to be able to launch Rider with other types of files such as these. Those is really up to you. Creating associations. This really depends on what else you have installed. If you have Visual Studio installed, which you probably will have in Windows, you may not want to do this. This will overwrite Visual Studio handling these files. So it is up to you. But if you're using Rider and Visual Studio, you'll probably want one or the other, but not both won't work. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video again while that completes. Once it's finished, it will ask you to reboot. This is where you see that I'm using a virtual machine. That's just because it makes it very handy in situations like this to show the full process. Okay, so now we're back in. We're going to launch Rider. Accept the license agreement. We can import settings from other IDEs if you want to, such as the key maps for building. Again, it will import appearance. Continue, you don't have to do that. Most of these you can ignore. Obviously you may want to add them in at a later date, but for now you can just ignore these. There is nothing essential here, not for getting started. Now, it will ask you to log into a JetBrains account. You can also start a free trial. I'm just going to pause the video while I log in. I can't start a free trial because my email address is already registered with an account. Okay, so now I've done that. This is where Rider loads to start with. We can create a new solution. Out of all these choices, I'm going to choose a console application. We can create framework or .NET Core. Typically these days you will want .NET Core. Again, it gives you a choice of versions. Now I've only got .NET 7 installed on this machine. But I can drop it down and it doesn't matter. So create. Give it just a moment longer. And now we're ready to start coding. I can run this and it will just output hello world. I can add another line. Do it deliberately just slightly differently so you can see the difference. This is the new .NET 6 default appearance. I will just create a new project so that you can see what it will look like, what it would look like in Framework, because you will see lots of tutorials online that use .NET Framework. And while you can still use them quite happily, initially the projects look different. It's exactly the same. All of this other information is still present in the other version, but it just shows you this one line. If I run this program, it will give exactly the same output. Okay, that's all set up and ready to code. Thank you for watching. Bye.